Ways to go. Still using the coarse side, and I've worked on this edge a little bit. So see, I'm only cutting off this little bit right here. I don't really care about much any of that right now. From the top down. And then once you get that finished edge, now you can go back and forth. Now I can kind of look down this with my eye and where I started. It looks like there's going to be a little iffy part there, so I'm going to extend that down a little bit. That. And just blend it in. Now I can take my smooth side. Look from top to bottom. I see there's a little high edge right there. Make that straight. Look across. Where I cut that is about square with that. If you got a square, you put that on there and see. Okay. Now that I've got this edge where I think I want it, now I can start concentrating for gouging from here to there. You know, have yourself a plan and do it right. Here's a trick for you. I want to flatten this out a little bit more, and I've got the flat side here. Instead of going across first, I'm going to dig down. This is harder than this because this is the end of the wood. This is the side of the wood. Okay, so I'm just going to go up and down here because I'm cutting it. I'm making lots of little ridges because I only want this down a little bit more. Okay? Now I can go flat and dig the ridges out. Do a little more. That way first. Now that way. Now I think it's looking pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm eyeballing straight down here because once I put this door back up, I don't want it to look crooked or anything. And if you see little edges, you can kind of cheat the eye and hit a little bit so that, because I'm trying to make this line nice and straight. So I'm kind of just looking down it. I'm trying to make a nice straight line from where the paint is or whatever. Looking on the other side. And it's looking pretty good there. Okay. That looks good. Now I'm just going to take the flat, smooth side, do just a little bit more, look at it. And if you remember when we closed the door, remember the threshold was up at a slight angle? Well, this is the outside, so even if I get this side down just a hair lower than the inside, that's going to be okay too, because that might help just a hair to get over that rubber. Like say if I'm slightly off. And if I'm not slightly off, if I get this a little bit more, this from the middle over is still going to seal the door. You know what I mean? So if you feel like you want to take off a little bit more, you can right in here. Let's get it this way. Well, shall we put this door back up? Let's do it. Remember, top hinge first. Gotta make some noise sometimes. Hang on to it. Put the pin up in there. Angle that. All you want is the top pin As long as the top pin goes in just a hair, you're okay. You don't have to tap that down any further. Don't do it. You're not going to tap the bottom one up, remember? That's the hair. And all I want to do is concentrate on the second hinge pin. I don't care about the bottom one just yet. You know? Got that down in its hole. Bottom one looks lined up. Okay. Moment of truth. Okay, I'll keep the camera on. I don't want you to think there's any monkey business going on. Let's see how well this door closes now. In worst case scenario, we got to do some more rasping, but I'm hoping not. Okay? Look at that. Looking pretty good there. I'm liking that. Now the funny thing is, the door's not latching, is it? You can look at that. I can see where the bottom is, right there, and I can open that and look. And that's because it's rubbing just below the pocket of the strike. If you will recall, remember we had the big gap at the top of the door. When they installed this door years ago, it was fine. See that big gap up there? You're not supposed to have that big gap. It's supposed to be up higher, and it was up higher, and then this door went up. That raised up the pocket of where this latch was, right? That'll raise this up, but we can't do it. We're trying to work with the existing conditions the best we can. So guess what we gotta do? We're gonna have to look at this strike plate and make a decision. Do we, you know, if it's only off a little bit, which it is, we can ream the bottom of this out with a reamer bit, and I think I have one. If not, you can use a drill bit. It's kind of chattery, and hold it there and stuff. If it's way off, say a ½ an inch, and you're like, oh my word, what do I have to do? Worst case scenario, you have to take this out and remortise it in, lower it down, then you're going to have a patch there and all that. We don't want to do all that if we don't have to. So I don't want to adjust this right to left yet until I get the bottom fixed. So I'm going to have to find a reamer bit and show you how to do that. Man, look at all this stuff you're learning.